So today, after this first evaluation session, I feel the way I always feel after such social interactions. Back when I used to do Tai Chi training weekends, I was so dead the next day. And it's always the same, feeling exhausted. Back then, when I was a vegan, I even had muscle pain and back pain. Now, as a carnivore, I still feel kind of sad and stressed. So I feel like crying. This always comes along with that feeling of exhaustion. And the body needs about 1 to 2 days until it has recovered, until I'm back to my usual self, which doesn't feel sad. Yeah, so today I feel kind of down, not so good. I just wanted to share this. Maybe some other autistics can relate. And this is every time when I socially engage and it makes me feel stressed, every single time, same reaction, has been the same for years. Emotionally, always the same. And carnivory has certainly helped with the physical stuff, so I recover more quickly, but I still got a migraine, even though I had tons of ancestral beef, kidney capsules, and also the other DAO supplement, Daosin, just to reduce the histamine. But yeah, I still feel exhausted, and the migraine is not so strong, otherwise I wouldn't be talking here. But my body just reacts. My nervous system is overloaded, so that's the reaction. And that's why I really can't socialize the way I would sometimes like to. Because even as an autistic, you sometimes want to meet with people, even if it's not that often as neurotypicals need it. But once in a while, it's nice to have a chat with somebody like-minded. But, well, now during this time, as everybody's on lockdown, I have really enjoyed having social interactions in the autistic way and having Zoom meetings. And I'm really grateful to Tom and the Autistic Carnivore group and all the carnivore friends I have made over time. It's really nice to have this exchange. Anyway, So I just wanted to share this. So yesterday I finally could go for my first autism evaluation, which was about 2 hours long. But it's really a strange thing that the psychologist who was taking the evaluation, she just wanted a student to sit in and observe. And I think most autistics would have had the same reaction as I did. Almost meltdown. It's just too much. And I don't know, neurotypicals just don't get that. They don't understand. It did not even seem to cross this psychologist's mind that it could be a problem. She seemed completely surprised by my outburst. And I felt so stressed and so overwhelmed. Completely unnecessary, saying that again. And I really had an almost meltdown. To me, just one-on-one is okay-ish, but 2 people and me telling them personal stuff, and I have never met them before. Oh, I was so upset and stressed about it. The presence of 2 people. That's too much for me. I almost walked out backwards. I started trembling all over, feeling extremely stressed. It's just not bearable for me, and it was so unexpected. I could not believe it, because people who claim to be experts on autism and then they just surprise you with such a outrageous suggestion. Come on. Just because it's a university and they need students to study autism, I mean, I have to feel comfortable, right? It's stressful enough, but I have to be comfortable. What use is it if I fall apart and have a full-blown meltdown right in front of them? And then it took me over an hour to recover. I could barely answer the questions. I took a long time until I answered. There were long pauses in between. And that's just when I feel stressed. The problem is then I have a lot of difficulty to getting the words out. I cannot speak fluently. It just comes in bits and pieces. So that was completely unnecessary. They should know that. And I'm still really upset, and I had barely slept before the evaluation anyway. I was so nervous about it. And I had to travel there in the train 2 hours and then find it, which is sometimes difficult. So I arrived on time, but then they just throw that at me. How is that possible? autism experts. Well, we agreed that only one person would question me, and then the student, she walked away, so they accepted that. Because obviously I had a very strong reaction. So, but yeah, I'm still, today I feel exhausted and I woke up with a migraine. I felt it coming yesterday evening after the evaluation when I was so tired. I could barely get home, and I was so glad arriving home and having just silence and nobody around me. It's really exhausting. Well, I survived it. So yeah, today I don't feel too good. After that ordeal with this evaluation, it was really exhausting traveling there, being there for 2 hours, and at that event before even the evaluation started, being so stressed out by I still cannot believe it that they did that. Being so inconsiderate. Yeah, so we will see. I already have an issue when another person sits opposite me in a train when I travel. I like the seat to be empty. Probably people think every ASPIE is like Temple Grandin, not having issues with public speaking. But for me, just having somebody sitting opposite me is stressing me out. So traveling is really kind of stressful. There are so many things that can overload the system. And if somebody is breathing too loud or rustling with some paper or talking on the phone, that's so annoying. Especially when you are trying to listen to an audiobook and then the person talking on the phone is louder than your audiobook. You're listening with your headphones, but still the person who talks on the phone is louder, so you don't understand anymore what you are listening to. So I ask those people to tune the volume down a little bit. Usually they accept that. Swiss people are quite polite if you ask nice, but some, especially teenagers, of course, they will rebel and then they will be even louder. So I will just change my seat. What can you do? Better than getting stressed out and feeling totally irritated by all that noise. I usually love traveling, see new places, go on hikes, stuff like that. But just getting there in the train, if you have many people traveling as well. So it is exhausting as much as it is exciting.
It feels kind of like you're an alien or a foreigner. So you are living in a land amongst, I don't know if amongst is the right word, but anyway, among people, but you're not one of them. You're not one of them, but you need to somehow get through the day and life in a community where you really feel like an alien, literally. You don't speak their language, you don't understand the customs, you don't understand the rules. You're kind of just trying to not be noticed. The majority of autistic people have always felt from the time they were very little like they just don't belong. They're an alien or a foreigner. When you're autistic, everything kind of builds up in your central nervous system, and you get more and more and more overwhelmed until all of a sudden you just, without a moment's notice, you just blow. Like, it's like the lid blows off, and it surprises you as much as it surprises those around you sometimes. So you kind of can feel like a jack in the box. The other thing, feel like everything is just too much. Everything you see, hear, smell, taste, feel, the people you're around, their energy, the clutter of the world, like, it's just like you look at other people wondering, how can you not be bothered by this insanity and the chaos of everything? Everything is chaos, everything is too much, and we just desire solitude and peace and quiet, and it's very hard to get it in civilization, and so we just feel really overwhelmed a lot of the time.